evening and welcome to the evening news for today, Tuesday, May 31, 2022. I am Jemima Holmes. Thank you for tuning in. Now let's take a look at some of the lead stories tonight. 150,000 one-off cash grant for FISHERFOLKS, President Ali announces. Members of Police Integrity Service Commissions appointed. Nothing else government can do in response to rising fuel prices, says VP. DEMERARA Bank launches credit line for farmers to access higher capital. Few sees opportunity as water taxi service returns to BERBICE, and 50,000 vaccines for children aged 5 to 11 to arrive from Spain. Now for the news in detail. As the government continues to introduce measures to address the rising cost of living faced by Guyanese, President Dr. Irfan Ali has announced that FISHERFOLKS would benefit from a 150,000 one-off cash grant. Here is Amar Prasad with our lead story tonight.
The Guyana government today organized a public meeting with a group of fishermen where President Dr. Irfan Ali announced that this segment of the population will benefit from a $150,000 one-off cash grant. It is expected that this measure will benefit just under 5,500 persons.
We are announcing an initiative for every single person I identified just now across the country. That is, we're going to help you with a one-off grant of $150,000 each. This is an immediate step that we are taking to make a direct transfer to you, to assist you, in addition to all that we're doing to expand the industry.
President Ali reminded that the government has implemented other measures intended to benefit the wider population, initiatives which also benefited FISHERFOLKS. He reasoned that this special additional measure is in light of the unique challenges being faced by fishermen, including the low catches they continue to experience.
We understand that at your household level, you still have immediate needs and you still have some immediate help that you require. And talking to fisherfolk all across the country, we have assessed those needs. Because you have a government that is not afraid of confronting you. You have a government that is not afraid of facing you, listening to you. Whether it's good times or bad times, you can be assured that you have leaders who will be out here to listen to you.
President Ali noted too that the government is committed to supporting the agriculture sector, reminding that there is an ongoing initiative whereby help in capital costs is being provided for farmers who want to get into aqua farming.
If you have farmers who have land and they want to convert it into aquaculture, the government is ready to work with you and help you in the capital costs to convert those farms. These are the type of initiatives that would help us to be sustainable. These are the type of initiatives that will help us to expand production.
Meanwhile, the Guyanese head of state noted too that specific measures will be announced for persons involved in other economic sectors of the country. For the evening news, Amar Prasad.
In keeping with his constitutional duties, President Dr. Irfan Ali today swore in members of the Police Service Commission and the Integrity Service Commission who were approved through the parliamentary process. Here are the details from Jarrell Bryan.
During a ceremony at the office of the President on Tuesday, the new members of the Police and Integrity Service Commissions took their oaths of office. The new members of the PSC are Attorney at Law Lloyd Mark Conway, Ernesto Chuafat, and Pastor Patrick Finlay, who will serve as chairman. Businessman Hakeem Mohammed, who was also supposed to be on the commission, will be sworn in at a later date. Meanwhile, the Integrity Service Commission has Chandra Gadraj as chair, along with Mohammed Hanif, Attorney Kim Kai Thomas, Hardesh Tawari, and Wayne Chris Bowman as members. In his address, the President recounted the process that led up to these appointments.
On April the 29th, as is required by the Constitution, I invited the Leader of the Opposition to consult on the appointment of members of various bodies and commissions. That was done on the April the 29th. On May the 9th, the Leader of the Opposition responded asking for more information, specifically for the agencies and the names of the persons proposed to be appointed. On the very day, we responded identifying the names of the bodies and agencies and the names of the proposed nominees for each of these agencies, including the identified nominee for the chair of the Police Service Commission.
The President explained that these names have already been approved by the National Assembly. According to President Ali, the opposition leaders' requests, including those for CVs of the nominees, were honored.
On May the 27th, I then invited the leader of the opposition to the second physical meeting. We received no response nor objections to the CVs. Instead, at 2:15 p.m. on the 16th, on the 30th, 15 minutes after our scheduled meeting, the Minister of Parliamentary Affairs and Governance Office received a letter from the Leader of the Opposition Office saying just one thing: the President should tell him the grounds on which he makes the nomination. On the 31st of May at 9 a.m., that is today, we delivered a letter in which I made clear that the proposed names were outstanding citizens of Guyana.
During a press conference earlier in the day, opposition leader Aubrey Norton threatened to take legal action if the appointments went ahead without a second consultation. Gerald Bryan, The Evening News.
Another increase in the price for fuel on the world market is again taking a toll on the local population, but Vice President Barra Jagdeo says there is nothing more his government can do at this point to address the situation. Last March, the Vice President announced the lowering of the excise tax on fuel to zero. The prices at the pumps were eventually adjusted, bringing relief to thousands of persons. However, that relief was short-lived as prices continued to climb on the global market and again resulted in higher prices in Guyana. The hike in fuel prices is being attributed to the aftermath of the novel coronavirus pandemic and the war between Russia and Ukraine. Currently, the prices for gasoline and diesel are almost $300 per liter at local service stations. Commenting on the issue during a press conference on Monday, Jagdeo explained that the government has done everything in its power to help the population combat the rising prices for fuel. Here's what he had to say.
You know that the excise tax was 50%. So we reduced it to zero. We removed the excise tax. That is what we could have done, and that is what we did. Because there isn't anything else that we can do at this stage. Nothing else at this stage. Because if that's the only thing that the government used to collect in terms of revenue, and there is zero revenue. We don't collect taxes now on fuel, down from 50% to zero.
The Amila Falls hydropower project is at risk of being retendered and delayed as China Railway First Group, the company that won the contract, has informed the government that it has difficulties meeting the contract obligations and wants the model changed. Here is Amar Prasad with the details.
The award of the Amila Falls contract to China Railway First Group on a build-own-operate-transfer model was announced in November of last year. Vice President Barra Jagdeo, during a press conference on Monday, revealed that the company now wants to enter an engineering, procurement, and construction contract with the government.
Amila, we have been in discussion with the company since November last year. Where the discussions and negotiations are very difficult. And as of April 22nd, they wrote us saying that they're having a hard time doing the boot contract, and they want to shift to a EPC plus finance, that the government finances the project, and then there would be the EPC contractor. We're in the negotiations. We're still trying because to get them to meet the commitment that they bid for. But you know how this started. They started with Site Global, which is a subsidiary of Blackstone, choosing China Rail. And then the project didn't go through. We retendered, and they came out at about 7.7 cents per kilowatt.
According to Jagdeo, the government is not in agreement with any attempts to change the basis of the tender that went out last year. He made it clear that if they cannot get the contract done under the BOOT model, then it will have to be scrapped and retendered. Meanwhile, he explained that other projects such as the Gas to Shore project and the solar panels are on course.
We will not be able to conclude the contract because that is what the tender was about, a build, own, operate, transfer model, not an EPC finance model. And therefore, in the last maybe 6 months or so, we've been struggling to reach an agreement. So we are now going to have to give a deadline and then cancel if they can't proceed as the original model. So that we may have a setback there on that, but on the solar panels, remember that's our money. So those 35 megawatts will go out to tender very soon. That is for Linden, Essequibo, and Berbice.
It was explained that one of CRFG's main stumbling blocks to achieving the terms in the BOOT contract is finance. Jagdeo also noted that the government has not opted to move on to the next responsive bidder, since that bid had been at 9.9 cents per kilowatt, significantly more than the CRFG. As such, no decision was made to move on to this bidder. According to the Vice President, there is also a possibility that the timelines previously set to start construction on the AFHP may have to be pushed back. However, he stressed that this will not impact the government's commitments to drop the price of electricity by 50%. Construction on the Amila Falls hydropower project was supposed to start this year, as government continues to ramp up spending on renewable energy projects as well as upgrades to the Guyana power and light infrastructure. The expected completion date was to be 2027. For the evening news, Amar Prasad.
Amar Prasad joins us again to report that, with examples of partnerships and consortiums flourishing in the oil and gas sector, President Dr. Irfan Ali believes that partnerships within the agricultural sector are important for Guyana to reach its agricultural targets for local, regional, and global markets. Here is more.
The Farmers Credit Initiative was described by DEMERARA Bank Corporate Secretary Chandra Gadraj as a game changer in the industry. Noting the importance of food security, she explained that the bank wanted to play its part in the growth of the agricultural sector by improving access to capital for farmers.
The recent Agriculture Investment and Expo Forum of Caribbean Leaders, initiated by our government, is testimony to the critical importance of agriculture for the sustenance of food security. The target of 25 by 25 is ambitious but doable, and the bank is excited to be a facilitator in achieving the goal of a vibrant and sustainable agriculture sector in Guyana.
She explained that the credit line focuses at this time on the rice sector and will provide structured financing of up to $20 million for farmers' costs. It was also pointed that DEMERARA Bank's branches are conveniently situated in areas dominated by rice farmers. Already, close to 200 applications have been received for the program in just 3 weeks. President Dr. Irfan Ali, in delivering the feature address at the launch on Monday, spoke of the benefits of this initiative and how it ties into the government's plan to slash the regional food import bill by 25% by 2025.
When you have access to the $20 million, you can now move towards investing in higher capital type of farming, which in the initial phase is higher, but the long-term benefit brings more revenue, especially dealing with climate change and all of this. So if you have 20 farmers coming together, you have capital formation of $20 million, we can now have at least 5 large greenhouses or shade houses that make your agriculture climate resilient, increase your productivity by 25 to 30%, give you the opportunity to go in high value crops,
it opens up new opportunity. And this, Mr. Dave, is a direction in which we have to go if we are to achieve the type of targets that we want to achieve.
The Guyanese head of state also emphasized his government's commitment to the development of the agricultural sector.
Whilst we're doing all of this, we are working on the other fronts to remove the barriers to the market, the barriers to trade, working with the state of Roraima, improving our varieties, increasing our yield, looking at new areas of investment. Wheat, we are experimenting with wheat. Even the sheep is in agreement with this strategy. So we have to understand that the issue of the food production and agriculture is one in which we have to address all the issues. And it's not only one issue that we have to focus on. But for agriculture to be successful, you need the government to be responsive. You need a government that is responsive to the needs of the sector. And I would say that let our track record speak for itself.
For the evening news, Amar Prasad.
Coming up, lack of financial records at local organs confronted at PAC meeting, and ExxonMobil likely to pay cost oil claim if justified by audit, says Bharat. Do stay with us. More news ahead.
With the approval of each new oil production project offshore, more jobs and opportunities are created onshore. And not just for those working in the oil and gas sector, more Guyanese are providing support services in transportation, catering, logistics, accommodation and hospitality, among many others. Oil and gas development is fueling Guyana's transformation.
Your child needs nutrients every day. Enfagrow has DHA and iron, which supports your child's mental development. Enfagrow has components which cow's milk does not contain. Support your toddler's growth and complement their diet with Enfagrow. Let's fuel the wonder.
This product is not intended to be a substitute for breast milk. Mental development depends on various factors such as stimulation and adequate nutrition. Commercial cow's milk does not contain DHA but contains calcium and other nutrients.
On the outside, Devon creams, many ways to smile, smile. You say, I say, we say, have your fill today. So rich, so creamy. Have your fill today. Devon creams, have your fill today.
With unlimited games to choose from, you can be a winner with SuperBet. Choose from our virtual sports, live betting, sports betting, live roulette, and much, much more. Place your bets at www.superbet.gy or visit any one of our agents. Terms and conditions apply. Must be 18 and over. Play responsibly.
Your child needs nutrients every day. Enfagrow has DHA and iron, which supports your child's mental development. Enfagrow has components which cow's milk does not contain. Support your toddler's growth and complement their diet with Enfagrow. Let's fuel the wonder.
This product is not intended to be a substitute for breast milk. Mental development depends on various factors such as stimulation and adequate nutrition. Commercial cow's milk does not contain DHA but contains calcium and other nutrients.
Sunshine snacks, cheese balls, grab a sunshine, double cheese balls. We are crunch on a cheese ball. Daddy nickel pick, double cheese balls. Sunshine snacks, cheese balls, grab a sunshine snack, cheese balls. Love cheese in every bite, flavor in every crunch. Extra cheese in me love it so much. Love cheese in every bite. Grab a sunshine, double cheese balls. We are crunch on a cheese ball. Daddy nickel pick, double cheese balls. Sunshine snacks, cheese balls.
Grab a Sunshine Snacks cheese puffs today. More cheese, more flavor. Did you know that when you leave your property unoccupied and unmanaged, it deteriorates much faster than you can imagine? Then before you know it, much of your hard-earned investment is wasted. At Hand in Hand Trust Corporation, property management is our business. Whether you travel for long periods, live overseas, or have several properties that require managing, let us at Hand in Hand Trust Corporation take care of this for you. Your property is safe with us. Hand in Hand Trust Corporation Incorporated, a member of the Hand in Hand Group of Companies.
Plans are moving forward for the establishment of the landmark gas-to-energy project. Gas will be piped from the Stabroek block operations to shore. The project is expected to cut electricity rates by more than half and deliver significant benefits to Guyanese.
Welcome back. You're watching the evening news. The water taxi service between New Amsterdam and Rosignol resumed operations on Monday after being dormant for over 2 years. However, as we hear in this Andrew Carmichael report, not many persons took advantage of the boat service.
The reintroduction of the water taxi service from Rosignol to New Amsterdam is mainly to facilitate school children and pensioners, according to Public Works Minister Gwan Edgell. It has been over 2 years since the river crossing service was taken out of operation. The service was taken out of operation during the COVID-19 pandemic. Earlier this month, Vice President Dr. Bharat Jagdeo visited Region 5 and met with several groups, including the business community, where a request was made to have the service reintroduced. As the service restarted on Monday, only a few used it. Less than 10 persons crossed from the Rosignol side on the first trip, and fewer traveled from New Amsterdam to Rosignol.
It means a lot. I save a lot because as I have these 2 boys, I gotta travel and drop them off at my parents and then back to work. And when I use the bus transportation, it's be expensive. It's be costly in the monthly. So the boat coming back, it is less costly. So I'm very thankful that it come back.
Well, for me, I would say it would be less costly in me traveling when compared to the bus. But the bus would have been $300 to cross and $300 to return. So that would have been $600 per day in transportation. With the boat, it's less. It would just be $280.
We're glad for the system come back. That passenger are gonna be doing work and people get to their job. But the system, he got to change. This boat got to run from 6 o'clock. 6 to 6:30. When you left your job. When you left 7 now, you're late for your work. So 6:30.
When the BERBICE River Bridge was opened on December 23, 2018, the New Amsterdam Rosignol ferry service was pulled out of operation, but the bridge does not allow passengers or bicycles to use it. Many had expressed concerns over the difficulty to cross after the ferry service, as unreliable as it was taken away. In August 2010, the new bus service, the New Amsterdam Rosignol bus route, was introduced, but soon after there were calls for the fare to be reduced. It was under the previous administration, on September 21st, 2015, that the taxi service was introduced.
This service, people might want to argue that it was implemented under the APNU AFC, but we campaign on a promise that says whatever benefit people are enjoying, we will not take it away from them, but we will give them greater benefits.
The reintroduction of the water taxi service is being viewed by some as rivaling the number 56 bus service.
The operators and owners, they were a little disturbed, just even that they were actually coming back to operate. And so we are pleased now that we had that discussion and the assurances given to us. And we want to thank the minister for finding the time to have that dialogue with us.
Andrew Carmichael, The Evening News.
Financial records to document transfers of funds and other breakdown of finances at some local organs were brought under the spotlight on Monday, raising eyebrows at the Public Accounts Committee meeting. Find out more in this report.
On Monday, scrutiny was brought to the former Communities Ministry as the PAC continued its examination of the 2017 and 2018 audit reports. According to the 2017 report, the Audit Office said it was unable to verify the accuracy, validity, and completeness of $475.6 million paid to contractors of the Georgetown Mayor and City Council. According to Permanent Secretary of the Local Government Ministry, Prema Rupnarayan, severe difficulties have been encountered in getting documents to justify the breakdown of sums.
I know that the Treasurer is trying to work to get the information. She has since asked for 2 weeks because it's not very forthcoming. We have also have a little update where the City Treasurer managed and the Town Clerk managed to found some copies of some contracts relating to this, and they have shared those with the auditors who are looking at them. So we are making some headway as it relates to these payments. So in conclusion, Ministry of Communities made $475 million based on a cabinet decision that clearly outlined where and who to pay the 3 persons here. $400 million was released from Ministry of Finance. The ministry took the balance from their 6284-94 line. That's the information that I have. But up until now, we are having severe difficulties getting these documents to justify the breakdown of $475 million.
In 2018, $297.7 million was transferred to municipalities, but it was highlighted that these local organs continue to breach the Municipal and District Council Act in relation to submitting timely financial statements. According to the Permanent Secretary, letters have been dispatched asking councils to conduct timely financial statements. She said they are implementing a comprehensive training to build capacity in making these commitments.
Can the Permanent Secretary tell PAC if the ministry is taking any action to bring municipalities up to date with requirement under the Municipal and District Councils Act, and specifically Chapter 2801, before they contemplate making more transfers to these municipalities? Is the ministry contemplating making it conditional that these defaulting municipalities bring their books up to date before transfers are made?
The Ministry of Local Government has written several letters to all municipalities encouraging them to bring their accounts up to date and submit for audit. We have also noted that there is an issue of capacity with training. We're implementing a comprehensive training program across the 10 municipalities to help them in whatever area they need to get these accounts up to date.
Guyana can still reclaim cost oil if need be during the auditing of ExxonMobil's cost oil claims, Natural Resources Minister Vikram Bharat has assured, contrary to reports that have been swirling. Luanda McAllister tells us more.
According to Natural Resources Minister Vikram Bharat, there is no truth to the allegations that Guyana is out of the time frame to audit and refute any cost oil claims.
There is speculation that the time has elapsed and we cannot do the audit or we cannot make any claims, but that is not true. We have been in constant engagement with the operator, and they are willing to support and be a part of the audit.
The minister gave this assurance in the wake of the award of a $751,000 contract to audit $9 billion in cost oil from ExxonMobil's operations in the Stabroek block. Additionally, he said that the government is moving in the direction of having half-annual audits. This, he noted, is important for making sure that cost oil audits are current.
That is why we took the bold initiative to get local companies involved, so that we can move maybe to a stage where we can do year-by-year auditing, and we don't have to wait until 2022 to do 2018, or we can even do half-yearly audit. We are moving towards that stage, and I think that is what all Guyanese want, and that is what the government of Guyana wants. Everybody wants to know that whatever expenses are being incurred, that they are true expenses, and that we're not paying for something that is not really being incurred.
Only last week, a contract was signed between a consortium of local auditors and international company with the government of Guyana to undertake a $751,000 contract to audit US $9 billion in cost oil from ExxonMobil's operation in the Stabroek Block. Reporting for the Evening News, I am Lawanda McAllister.
The rollout of vaccination for children between the ages of 5 and 11 years old in Guyana will commence shortly with the arrival of a donation of 50,000 vaccines from the government of Spain. Rupa Sinarain has the details.
Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony told media operatives on Tuesday that the vaccines will arrive next week, enabling immunization for 25,000 children. Government was seeking to source the vaccines for this age group for some time. Guyana is also expecting a donation of vaccines for this age group through the COVAX mechanism.
We are also expecting another set of vaccines for the similar age group from COVAX. We have just, they have written to us asking us about whether we would like to have some, and we have indicated that. So that we'll have to negotiate to see the dates when that would arrive. But for now, we have 50,000 doses that will get in next week, and shortly thereafter, we'll be able to start rolling that out.
Vaccine uptake in the adolescent category, that is ages 12 to 17, has been quite slothful. According to the health minister, authorities will be leaning on the school system and parents to introduce the vaccines to this new age cohort.
I don't think with 25,000 children that we should have a problem, because I've been getting a lot of requests from persons who want to see their children getting vaccinated. So I think because this is a relatively new category of persons, I don't anticipate that we'll have a problem with uptake.
Vaccination figures show 442,087 first doses being administered to adults, accounting for 86.2%. Meanwhile, 341,687 second doses, or 66.6% coverage, has been achieved. For the 12 to 17 category, 34,697, or 47.6% first doses were administered, followed by 25,427, or 34.9% second doses. Booster shots were listed at 65,284. Rupa Sinarain, The Evening News.
Meanwhile, from the beginning of June, the Health Ministry will be offering a second booster shot for the adult population. Here is Rupa Sinarain again with more.
Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony made the announcement on Monday during the COVID update, adding that the second booster dose will be available at all vaccination sites. Additionally, the adolescent cohort will be able to access their first booster shot.
One of the things that the ministry would be doing is to offer a second booster dose. So for persons who would like to get their second booster dose, they would be able to get that at any one of our vaccination sites. And this is for persons 18 years and older. We are also going to be offering, for the first time, booster doses for persons 12 to 17 years of age.
The minister explained that having a booster dose is essential in upkeeping immunity against the novel coronavirus. Despite sensitization on vaccines and its importance, the rate of uptake has been significantly low in recent months.
We haven't seen a lot of people coming forward now to get vaccinated, despite the many appeals that we've been making to people. But again, by now everybody should know that with vaccination, you get protection. And if you're not vaccinated, then you can get infected and you can get a more severe form of COVID, especially if you have underlying illnesses. So it's very important that people get vaccinated. Now, since we have been vaccinating people, one of the things that we have noticed is that after about 6 months, the immunity that you would have developed from the vaccine would start dropping.
The Health Ministry is currently utilizing Sinopharm, Johnson & Johnson, and Pfizer vaccines to continue its immunization campaign. However, government is expecting a shipment of pediatric Pfizer vaccines used for children between the ages of 5 and 11. Rupa Sinarain, The Evening News.
And now for a look at the bridge reports.
The DEMERARA Harbor Bridge is scheduled to be closed on Wednesday, June 1st at 4 hours for a period of 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, the BERBICE River Bridge is scheduled to be closed on Wednesday, June 1st at 4 hours 50 for a period of 1.5 hours.
Cox eager to take on leadership role, and Hope Century propels West Indies to easy win over Netherlands. Details of these stories and more in the Sportcast, sponsored by Macorp, coming up on the other side of the break.
Get in the game, get in the game, get in the game with Buster, play.
Get in the game with Buster. Win a full gaming setup, Xbox X, gaming chair, gaming speaker and headset, or any of over 60 weekly prizes like Oculus Quest 2, Mini 2 drone, Nintendo Switch, Xbox X Series. Just purchase any bottle of Buster, Turbo, Altitude, Classic, or Viva and look for the code on the bottle. Then visit Buster Instagram and Facebook at Buster Guyana for more details.
Your child needs nutrients every day. Enfagrow has DHA and iron, which supports your child's mental development. Enfagrow has components which cow's milk does not contain. Support your toddler's growth and complement their diet with Enfagrow. Let's fuel the wonder.
This product is not intended to be a substitute for breast milk. Mental development depends on various factors such as stimulation and adequate nutrition. Commercial cow's milk does not contain DHA but contains calcium and other nutrients.
Looking to bring your dream home to reality, or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Berger Paint original hues for any surface. We are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Satco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home, and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store, located in downtown Georgetown and industrial site Rijnveld.
Your child needs nutrients every day. Enfagrow has DHA and iron, which supports your child's mental development. Enfagrow has components which cow's milk does not contain. Support your toddler's growth and complement their diet with Enfagrow. Let's fuel the wonder.
This product is not intended to be a substitute for breast milk. Mental development depends on various factors such as stimulation and adequate nutrition. Commercial cow's milk does not contain DHA but contains calcium and other nutrients.
At John Lewis Styles, we carry only first quality men's and women's clothing, footwear, and accessories. As authorized dealers, our items come directly from the manufacturing brands and are available in all sizes and colors. What we sell was never on display in another store. It's time you know the truth about what you buy. Come visit us on Waterloo Street. John Lewis Styles, simply different.
Your child needs nutrients every day. Enfagrow has DHA and iron, which supports your child's mental development. Enfagrow has components which cow's milk does not contain. Support your toddler's growth and complement their diet with Enfagrow. Let's fuel the wonder.
This product is not intended to be a substitute for breast milk. Mental development depends on various factors such as stimulation and adequate nutrition. Commercial cow's milk does not contain DHA but contains calcium and other nutrients.
Mechanics, Sylvie's has all the equipment you need to make your job easier and your business profitable. Visit our 31 High and Hatfield Street store and choose from our wide array of shop presses, engine hoists, oil drain pans, parts washers, jack stands, bottle and floor jacks, hand tools and much more. Can't make it to the store? Shop online at sylviesonline.com and have it delivered. Call or WhatsApp 623-7755 for more info.
Get the right seal right now from Industrial Supply of Guyana, Inc., your immediate SKF sealing solutions. The SKF Seal Jet Machine is capable of building seals from 5mm to 600mm in diameter in under 5 minutes. With technical support readily available, you can get a customized seal to suit virtually any industrial application, like buffer, rod, wiper, and piston seals. SKF Seal Jet Machine, now at Industrial Supply of Guyana, Inc.